So, CMOC? Yeah, CMOC. Activist gets arrested on shocking charges. See how this one is.
So it seems like every week there's another influencer getting
It's kind of quiet
exposed
though.
for something. It's like some people get a dose of internet
There
clout
you go.
and think that they're invincible to accountability or justice. Now, as far as getting canceled, nothing comes close to the story of activist Ricci Wynne, as it came out very recently that he was
Wait,
indicted
I'm
on.
fucking blanking on it. Where the fuck is an activist? Activist. Okay. If anyone's dumb out there like me, like right now, a person who campaigns to bring about political or social shit. That's what I thought. That's honestly what I thought. I just wasn't sure. But yeah.
On multiple counts of,
Wait.
that he was indicted on multiple.
You're posting in front of guidelines. You're commenting in front of guys. You're posting in front of guys.
Counts of,
Ricci Wynne, 39, was hit with 2 counts of producing child stuff, according to federal documents filed Tuesday. In addition to the human trafficking charges, he was already facing following his arrest in November. So dude's a fucking weirdo.
I just can't stomach myself to say it. Now, as I looked further into this whole thing, this was unfortunately not his first time being involved in some controversy. And once you learn the type of activist he was before all of this went down, it just makes your blood boil when you think about all of it. So in this video, we're going to take a full dive into who Ricci Wynne was. And I think by the end of this video, you will see why this guy deserves to lose everything.
We'll just start with like a story.
Oh yeah, definitely. Anyone that fucking does anything with children should be done. Your life should be done. Not like that. Like canceled. You should be canceled. Not have a job. Whatever.
Free time. Great.
Now, in case you're unfamiliar with who this guy is, Ricci Wynne is a 39-year-old social media influencer from San Francisco, California.
Never seen him in my life.
Which is also the place he filmed his content. And that consisted of recording people and documenting the homelessness along with the drug epidemic plaguing his city.
There's little children up in this building. Y'all need to take that shit somewhere else.
How does he know there's little children in there? Someone needs to look in that building. But that's wrong. Don't fucking go filming homeless people and whatnot. That's fucking no.
Using this dope right here. Y'all need to use the dope somewhere else. Baby girl.
Not he didn't say don't. He didn't say stop doing dope. He said use it somewhere else.
What do you got going?
It's because they're guarding his fucking child spot.
What's going on here? You guys are in front of a building right here. You smoking in front of a building right here.
Spa at Summer Grand.
Now, Ricci Wynne would go on to average a decent following from his advocacy for cleaning the streets.
Decent.
He quickly made himself a voice for the Bay Area and even got featured on some local news stations.
It's a complicated situation here, but what they're doing is
that's fucking wrong. You should not be filming homeless people, dude. That's fucked.
Making the problem worse by creating a political atmosphere to where they are moving our moral goals.
All right, buddy, get your fucking words together. You're on live television. Get your words together, buddy.
Goalposts further away from what it should be.
Why is he so red?
They're using.
Now, I'm sure most.
Sorry, I have no idea what the fuck he's saying.
Is making the problem worse by creating a political atmosphere to where they are moving our moral goalposts further away from what it should be. They're using.
Now, I'm
okay. So people who don't understand it, I don't blame you. But what he said was drugs are bad, and it's producing more people to do bad things. That's it. That's all he was saying. They're doing drugs, and it's creating more people that wanna do drugs. That's it. That's literally it.
Sure, most would agree that activism is important, and the
Don't mind me stuttering, by the way.
cause he was fighting for on the
I'm also not on live television,
surface is only for the betterment of his environment.
but I'm live on Twitch, Madam Voices.
So Ricci came off as a very likable person. But here's the thing. Just because someone
Likeable dude's filming homeless people. I don't like this guy. Even if I didn't know he was weird children shit. Like that's wrong. Just filming homeless people.
One seems likable. Once people dig deeper into the background, things can take a dark twist.
Like they already have a shitty life. Don't make it shittier.
In this case, Ricci Wynne falls right into that.
Got him.
Someone seems likable. Once people dig deeper into the background, things can take a dark twist. In this case, Ricci Wynne falls right into that.
Wynne. That's how
Got
he
him.
says his name. Wynne.
We fucking got him.
So for the sake of not wasting too much time, we'll be going over Ricci Wynne's long laundry list of controversies. Now, what better way to start off than a good picture of the man in his element? Yeah, this
Is that a manga
good
thing?
picture of the man in his element.
Yeah, give me time to read. Yeah, there's a manga.
Yeah, this picture alone is
I mean,
a
I'm
controversy,
not fucking-
especially if you're
I'm
familiar
a political
with
dude, so you know,
politics. But moving forward
I really could give less fucks.
from that, it turns out Ricci does have an extensive criminal history, with him being a former drug dealer before his activist days on Instagram. Now it's
He was a drug dealer, and bro's telling them not to do drugs. Come
with
on.
him being a
Come on,
former
buddy.
drug dealer before his activist days on Instagram. Now it's granted, Ricci stated that he left all of this drug dealing behind once he became an influencer. And as
So he left his drug dealing behind, and he's videoing people that do drugs, which is the result of him drug dealing. Come on, buddy.
at this point, you can kind of see that this is another
Like
reason why
what?
people supported him. As some praised Ricci for turning his life around after doing some time, or so they thought. Now that we're done with all that,
Let's get straight to it.
That's why would you praise the dude for videoing homeless people that are doing drugs that he's been dealing?
in November of 2024, Ricci Wynne was landing at the San Francisco International Airport, where he was met with local law enforcement. He was then detained along with a woman he was traveling with for suspicion of pimping and pandering. Oh, and you can
Pimping
also
and
throw on a
pandering
human
is
trafficking
insane.
suspicion. That's what they were after him for too. Authorities then confiscated Ricci's phone after searching him to conduct further investigations. And this is where they reportedly found something straight out of a twisted horror movie. Authorities found footage of Ricci coercing 2 children to engage in some extremely inappropriate activities,
What the
all on
fuck?
his camera roll. On March 22nd, 2025, Ricci Wynne was hit with an indictment on 2 counts of producing child pornography.
Good,
On
what
top
the
of the
fuck?
original cases I mentioned before.
Wynne is in trouble with the law again. He's already behind bars on suspicion of felony pimping charges.
Again.
And now a federal grand jury has indicted him for producing child pornography. The new indictment says Wynne enticed 2 minors to, quote,
Oh my god!
engage
Do not let this guy near fucking children. Holy shit! It's like a fucking Diddy case.
in sexually
Like you figure out he's a child predator, and you're like seeing him near kids is fucking gross.
explicit conduct. Prosecutors say he recorded the minors with the intentions of making money off the videos.
As if all of this wasn't bad enough, authorities also have been linking Ricci Wynne to a possible sexual assault of a 15-year-old girl, according to a news
What?
release from a local station. I mean, where do I
They didn't know this before.
even start? The fact that this guy was a potential freak behind his activism, or that this perv just straight up lied to everybody about putting his past behind him?
Stop it. Get
Get some help.
So Ricci wasn't the sinner turned angel that many thought. I mean, not surprising given his criminal history and
Now looking at this, it reminds me of the fucking fish from Fortnite. The fish guy.
current charges. Speaking of which, Ricci Wynne has pled not guilty to the original investigation of human trafficking. But as far as that indictment on those 2 charges, there hasn't been an update on his end with that. I also want to mention that Ricci happens to be on probation since 2019. So add that onto the deep shit this guy is already in, and his social media
That's
career
crazy.
has to be the last thing anyone is talking about right now. Do I even need to say why this is wrong on so many levels? Unless you're completely out of touch with morals and the law, then yeah, I think we can all say that this guy is a fucking loser. There's a lot of ways that I can denounce it, but let's just
Yeah, agreed. The fucking loser.
put it like this. I just can't believe that through all of the previous run-ins with the law, this guy announced he's turning his life around, becomes an activist and builds a positive platform, farms nothing but support from the media.
Pause it, my fucking. I'm gonna say it again. Filming homeless people is fucking wrong, dude.
Just to end up being exposed for something far worse and more disgusting. Just unbelievable. Now, as I mentioned, these investigations are still happening, but it's anyone's guess that Ricci is probably going to be sent away for a while. Ricci Wynne currently faces a minimum of 15 years in prison along with a $250,000 fine. And who knows if there's anything else that's going to come up. Now, as far as his platform goes,
it's crazy getting fined that much money, because like most people won't see that kind of money in fucking forever, dude.
Well, I think I speak for all
like you literally gotta kind of slave away for that kind of money.
Of us when I say
turn that shit off. Turn that shit off.
And it looks like YouTube already beat us to that, as his channel was completely removed for violating guidelines. I say it's next for IG to do the same and just erase that account, since some of us are already calling for that too. Because no one who
definitely, what the fuck,
does these things, or being accused for that matter, should even be allowed to create accounts on social.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Getting accused and actually being guilty of something is completely different stuff. But I mean, for him, he's obviously guilty, you know. But it definitely should be innocent until proven guilty, you know. I don't agree with the whole guilty until proven fucking nothing, pretty much. It's just guilty until guilty. I don't believe in that.
Or being accused.
The whole, he's accused, so he definitely did it. But in this case, he definitely did that shit.
For that matter, should even be allowed to create accounts on social media. I know I laid into Ricci Wynne enough, and I think all of us have similar stances on this clusterfuck. There's a few points I think that's worth mentioning though. Of course, this guy deserves to lose everything and get sent to the dark realm, and there's no excuse for any of this stuff in the charges if they stick. Now, while these are just indictments and there's a possibility that they could be changed later, it's kind of hard to see that when the authorities been after Ricci for a while now. So clearly there's something there. In the end, I feel like this affects more than the supposed victims of Ricci when it comes to his followers. I bet that there was a good amount of people who supported this guy for the actual cause that he was fighting for. So it's really disheartening to see that the person you were supporting the whole time turns out to be a freak. Then it gets more sad when you think about those interviews Ricci did with the media outlets in the Bay Area, not knowing that these people were interviewing a potential monster. Just unbelievable. So at this point, I'm done talking about the sicko, and if you guys have any thoughts, feel free to leave in the comments down below. As far as I know, this guy needs to be exiled from the universe. If you guys...
Yeah, this guy's a fucking weirdo. It's such a weird thing to make a video on though. I mean, I get he was popular, but I personally didn't know who he was, so, but it's just a random thing just making a whole video on one guy. But it definitely makes sense if you know who he is, like a EDP kind of thing. I didn't know who he was, but obviously he was a popular guy. Excuse me. So that's why people started making videos on him and stuff. But yeah. 7 minutes and 40 seconds for this one random dude I've never heard of. Maybe you guys did. Ooh, excuse me. Maybe you guys did. Who knows? Ooh, excuse me. Fire video. Fire video though. CMOC. Activist gets arrested on shocking charges.